Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Frame of Mind Inc. podcast. This is your boy Simbawi Nibaye Jr., aka TK, and my man Omar Williams. We call him O. Say what's up to the peeps.
What's going on, good people?
It is another lovely Wednesday, and y'all know how we do. We jump right in and get things popping from the get-go. But before we do that, it's Affirmation Wednesday, and we get our affirmations on. For those of you who are getting the replay of this, whether via video or audio, it can be affirmation whatever day it is for you, whatever time of day it is for you. But if you got them memorized, you got them written down, or whatever you want to do, get these in and out the way and get this popping. Are you ready? Let's get it. Today will be a good day. Today will be a great day. Today will be an awesome day. Today will be an amazing day. Today will be a phenomenal day. Today will be stress-free. Today will be a stress-less day. Today, I will overcome all barriers that want to block my progress. Today, all circumstances, issues, and situations will line up in my favor. Today, all things will line up for my good. Today, I will become better than who and what I was yesterday. I am a go-getter. I am victorious. I am triumphant. I am an overcomer. I never lose. I either win or I learn. I take authority over this day. I will dominate this day. I will conquer this day. And everything I have spoken into this day will happen as I have affirmed, because I am more than a conqueror. Let's get it popping. Today, we are talking about having a successful mindset. Having a successful mindset. And so we're going to give you guys some a few tips and things of how to have a successful mindset. Not from A to Z, but just for whatever it is you need that you're lacking in, we're going to give you that today. And if you're lacking in all these areas, we're giving it to you today all the way through. And if you're just needing a little extra push, a little extra motivation, inspiration, determination, commitment, dedication, and all those good things, we are here to help you out today on the Frame of Mind Inc. podcast. So, in no particular order, just kind of just giving it out there straight to you. I'll just number them just so I can keep track of what number I'm on. But if you get your pen, paper, tablet, notebook, whatever it is you take notes on, get ready because here we go. So, number one, having a successful mindset. The number one is, well, in this particular series, discover your unique super ability, or for that matter, your superpower. You've heard before, what's your superpower? And we look at superpower as a superhero to a degree. But I mean, what is it that you do really, really well? What is it that you really, really do well that either no one else can do, or no one else within your area or your community or your neighborhood or your, county, your state, or anywhere within 100 miles of you can't do as good as you? Because let's be honest, there are others who can do what you do, but who's doing it locally that you can capitalize on? And if you conquer it locally, it could become something that becomes, statewide, East Coast wide, West Coast wide, nationwide, possibly even global. I'll make a perfect example of this is that I was watching a commercial where it said there was a lady who was learning how to discover a soap for eczema because her child had eczema, and her determination to discover a soap for eczema ended up turning into a multi-million-dollar business for her.
Wow.
I'm just saying. How many people out there who have children or themselves had eczema, and you kind of went to the doctor or the dermatologist and they gave you this, that, and the other, and it might have worked, but it didn't work altogether. And you might have been like, man, I need to maybe find out how to take care of this. But you never really went out there and did it. You just kind of said it. You didn't do it. This lady actually went out and did it. But she put the work in. Wasn't like she just stepped into it and it happened. Put the work in. She found her superpower, which was the determination and commitment to find out how to get a soap or build or make or create a soap to help out with eczema for her child. Ended up turning into a multi-million-dollar business for her in general. Another person started a restaurant based on he wanted to find a better way to cook ribs or meat. And so he studied it and figured out some things and found some things. And when he decided that he found the gold mine of how to cook meat better, he opened a restaurant, and the rest is history. So find your superpower. Find out what it is that you do that's unique, that no one else is either doing, period, or is not doing locally where you reside in. All right. Let's go to the next one. Be authentically you. Be authentically you, or be authentic. All of us are special in one way or another. None of us on earth are the same. Even if you're twins, twins do not have the same fingerprint. They don't have the same, they might look the same or identical, but if you do their fingerprint, they're not the same. That's probably the only thing, or one of the very few only things that make twins different. Identical twins, that is. They do not have the same fingerprint. I don't care. They could be the same from head to toe. Hairstyle, hair color, looks, nose, mouth, ears, everything. They don't have the same fingerprint. So be authentically you. Be who you are. Be who Elohim created you to be. Positively, and with how Elohim meant for you to be and who he meant for you to be. The possibilities are endless, but trying to copy someone else and be someone else, it's possible, and that can be done. Like, one of my mentors at the Breakthrough says, you can be a copycat as long as you copy the right cat. But at the same time, you know what I mean? There is a uniqueness about you that if you do copy someone, you can make it your own and possibly make it even better. So authentically you. Go ahead, O.
Yeah, man. If you look at a lot of the people who win today are the people who are the most authentic. Like the crowd, they don't necessarily want the best singer anymore. They don't necessarily want the best athlete. They want the person that's really them. That was a part of Allen Iverson's big, people loved him because he was him, good or bad, but AI was AI, right?
AI was before artificial intelligence.
But yeah, man, like a lot of people, like today, you gotta be your authentic self. And if you're a copycat, it doesn't work too well today. Like I said, you don't have to be the best at anything. You have to be the best speaker, but you can but you could be out there speaking.
Yeah.
You don't have to be the best musician, but you can be out there playing, because people want you, not necessarily, they want your authentic self.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the thing you do, but they want you doing the thing you do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that goes to social media. Like, you gotta be authentic on social media. Like, there are a lot of people out there who are putting on facades of who they really are, and they're living in a digital world because everyone kind of accepts you in that world.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I get it, but there are a lot of people, and I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna move on, that live on social media and put on and personify that they're successful and they're really not. And I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna elaborate on that. I'm just gonna say that and I'm gonna move on. All right.
There you go.
Number 3. Again, no particular order, just in the order of which I have so I can stay on track. Nothing will change unless you change. Nothing will change unless you change. So you can't look at life and say, well, when this situation changes, then I'll be a better person for this. No. Or you can't look at, what's going on just in particular at your job or, at home. Like, until you change, nothing will change. Like, only you can work on you. Like, no one else can per se change you unless you decide to change. Just that simple. But again, being authentically you is great, But if you're being something that's not authentic, it's time for a change. I'm just saying. So nothing will change unless you change. Constantly got to work on yourself. You got to change yourself. You got to change, even your outcomes and what you're doing. Like if you keep doing the same thing over and over again and it's not working, you're not going to get a different result. You got to change what you're doing. And that all starts with the mindset. You got to have a mindset to want to change. They say the mind is a terrible thing to waste. That is 100% true. I'll even say 1,000% true. Because if you waste whatever's going on in your mind, I mean, you put wasteful stuff in there, wasteful stuff's going to come out. And all of us know that the only good thing waste is for is manure.
Right.
That's it. And listen, manure helps build up other things.
Come on, man. You took it.
You took it. It's not building up you. Go ahead. I know you wanted to say
no, I just want to say there's an author and a motivational speaker named Wayne Dwyer. He says when you change the way you look at things, the things that you look at change. And that's a big statement by him. When you change the way you look at things, the things that you look at change. So that got a lot to do with that last point Brother TK made about we need to change. I also heard a pastor say, I've been saying this forever, but since I heard it, I've been telling everybody. Pastor said, if your life's not getting better year by year, you need to question everything. Which when you question everything, it's going to cause for some change. So
that's pretty good.
That's pretty good, man.
Yeah.
Question everything. That's deep.
That could bring about a whole nother conversation right there.
A whole nother conversation.
Question everything.
Everything. Whew.
Let that sink in for me.
Yeah, man. It hit me to the core.
Yeah. I'm thinking about it now. I gotta let that one go right now.
Question everything. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Number 4, again, no particular order. Take 100% responsibility. Take 100% responsibility. There's, you guys better see me wear it before. I have a one of our brand T-shirts I wore. It says "Take responsibility." I mean, as adults, we should be taking responsibility no matter what. We can't blame anybody else for what's going on in our lives. I understand the circumstances, issues, situations happen. I get it. I've been there. O's been there. Other people have been there who have had it worse than we had it. And there are those who triumph and get through. But you can't blame everyone else for everything that's going on in your life or that's not going on in your life. Because it's really no one's fault but yours, whether you succeed or you fail. It's always your fault. It's your fault if you succeed. And I say fault, but I'm just making it a point. It's your fault if you succeed. It's your fault if you fail. It's that simple. So take 1,000% responsibility over things. All right. Number 5. I think I'm on number 5. Let's go to this one here. Be courageous. Be courageous. I always use the example of the lion in The Wiz or the Wizard of Oz. And it's funny because the lion in the jungle has probably the most courage out of any animal in the jungle or any animal period, I would say. The lion is the king of the jungle. He's almost could be considered the king of the animals in general, on land, that is. And to see a character playing a lion that doesn't have courage just seemed very weird to me. But it also shows that no matter who you are or what you are, if you don't have courage, you're going to be afraid to fail, number one. You'll also be afraid to actually try to succeed. That was one thing that I dealt with a lot. I dealt with the mindset that I had was, well, what if I fail? Or the mindset was, if I fail, then I'll be considered a failure. or I didn't want to fail because I'm like, look, like failing is not what I do. Now, notice that in our affirmations, we say, I never lose. I either win or I learn. So if I'm going to flip that, I'll say, look, I'm going to have learning experiences, but ultimately I'm going to win because those learning experiences are going to help me learn how to win overall. So, and along with that is that if you don't have the courage to step out and do and say if things don't go as planned, it's a failure. Nah, things didn't go as planned. Doesn't mean that you failed or you're a failure. You just learned that your plan didn't work. Right. That's all. Right. You got to build a new plan. That's all, or build around it, or make some things, or modify some things. So, be courageous. All right, be courageous. That's all I got to say on that one. Next point. I'm losing count now. I'm just going to the next point now. If you're afraid, and this goes along with courage, if you're afraid of failure, you will never try to succeed.
Wow.
If you're afraid of failure, you will never try to succeed. And again, failure, or as we say here on Fair Money Podcast, learning experiences are a part of success. There is nobody in this world, from the very first humans that roamed the world up to now, that has not had learning experiences before they had successes. Everyone has had it, including the Messiah. I mean, he had learning experiences, even though he came to this world as a perfect being. I mean, he had learning experiences. I mean, he was a child, that grew into a man. He wasn't the typical child, but he was a child nonetheless. Learning experiences. We all go through them. But if you're afraid of failure, you will never try to succeed. I've had students that I've mentored and stuff, and they have a mindset that they don't know how to accept when someone's giving them a compliment, because they're so used to someone always talking down to them, and they're not used to it. So for them, it's like, well, I always find that I get attention when I do the wrong thing, but they never also either try to do the right thing, because the attention comes from doing the wrong thing. And I might be going a little slight left field here, but again, it's like, if you're afraid to do the right thing, you'll never try to actually do the right thing, because doing the wrong thing brings about the attention that you want. So I'm going to always do the wrong thing because that gets me the attention. When you can flip that and make it to, look, I'm giving you a compliment. You have to kind of teach them how to accept a compliment. Teach them how to accept that, okay, you messed up, or even when they do something that's wrong or something that they shouldn't do, it's like, and you give them correction. It's a learning experience for them. But their mindset is always, it's so in a place of defeat, should I say, that you have to continue to build that character and build that faith in them. And they have to, I said before, that you may have to believe in someone else's faith and belief in you until you get enough in you to believe in yourself. So if you're afraid of failure, you will never try to succeed. All right, moving on. Which this goes with what I just said. Believe in yourself. Right. Gotta believe. Belief is, and here's the thing too. I'll say this: you gotta believe in yourself, but you also have to, trust yourself enough to know that when you're on the right track and doing the right things and doing what you're supposed to do, what you were sent here to do, is that there are going to be setbacks. There are going to be times when things aren't going to work. There's
opposition too.
Opposition. Yeah. It's going to come. But you got to press on and press through. It's easier said than done. But when you get determined and you're like, you know what, no matter what comes, I'm going to get through and do this, then that's when you've kind of eclipsed that floor. And now you're on another level of mindset, which, again, having a successful mindset. You got to believe in yourself, because there's going to come a time in your life where nobody, and I mean nobody, is going to believe in you. And that's when you got to say, okay, am I going to quit or am I going to keep going? You got to believe in yourself. Encourage yourself in that. So believe in yourself. Believe that you know what you know, you're good at what you do, and you will be successful at it eventually. It may not be in your time frame, but you will be successful at it eventually. Go ahead, Al.
No, you just said something that I say all the time. I said, you said believe that you know, or believe that you know what you know. Mm-hmm. And I always say there's another level, like there's belief and then there's knowing. You believe long enough, you start to know. And I say what you know, you birth.
Yeah.
And I got that from the Bible. So like when it said Adam knew Eve and they had a child. So right? Like, so that's where I get that from. So you believe long enough, you start knowing it. And once you know it, you birth it.
That's
so
good.
Like believe in yourself. Believe long enough to where you know that you're going to get it done. You know that you're going to finish or, accomplish whatever you got to accomplish.
Yeah,
but it starts with belief, man. So if you don't believe, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That's good. That's good.
Man.
Moving on. Hope you guys taking notes. Who you spend your time with will determine how successful you become. I'm gonna put a pin in that right there.
They said you hang with 5 fools.
Yeah. Who you spend your time with will determine how successful you become.
Right.
I'm gonna take a few angles on this one, so y'all just rock with me. And this right here is gonna be in order. All right. Number 1, you spend time with Elohim. That will determine how successful you become.
That's good.
What does that mean? Spend time in prayer. Spend time in his word. Spend time just getting to know him even more. Be silent, meditate on his word and what he has to say. I mean, he'll speak to you. But spending time with Elohim, that will determine, be a big factor in how successful you become. Who is it that's in your inner circle? Is it people who are parasites or people who are pushing you to the next level or the next dimension? Now, all of us have people in our lives in different stages of our lives where there are people in our lives who are going to be there for a certain amount of time, and then that relationship's going to kind of break off. There's others who we meet one time and that's it, and we'll never meet them again. But they, to a degree, change the trajectory of our life. Then you have those who are there for the long haul. And most of those who are there for the long haul are very few and in between. There's not a whole lot of people that go that long with you. But again, who's in your inner circle? And then the other one I'm going to say, and I'll let O jump in if he wants to here, is that the people that you are, or what you're striving to become and be, are you spending time with people who are already there, who can impart into you what to do and how to do and what to get there? Because if your inner circle is not giving you what you need to get where you're going, it's time for a new circle. And if your inner circle is pulling from you rather than pouring into you, it's time for a new circle. And if you're the top dog, and I'll say the top person in your circle for an extended period of time, it's time for a new circle, because now you've climaxed. And now, unless they plan on coming to where you are, it's time for a new circle. Go ahead, Al.
And this, and what I'm about to say, please hear my heart. But like, some of us got to leave our family alone because our family is our inner circle, and we've seen the results of that. So I'm gonna put it this way: if you like what you see,
go ahead and stay.
Go ahead and stay.
There you go.
If you want to become something else, you gotta go. You gotta go. You gotta go. Not saying you leave them alone, but like, you know, you got to move on. You got to go. You got to find your, as they say today, your tribe or whoever, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You got to find your people. You got to find where you got to go, or you got to get around people that'll take you to the next level. Because if you, that's what happens to people in the hood, man. We stay there so long. That's all we know. We don't know any information outside of it. So we do the things that we think we got to do to get ahead in it. But it's like, as soon as you see somebody who does something different, that changes everything. If you, I mean, you hear a lot of stories like, man, this guy came and showed me I could do such and such, or this guy said this, or this guy showed me how to be a carpenter, and now he's a carpenter and he left. You know, he's doing what he's doing. So he got around new people. So,
and now mind you, even piggybacking off what O just said, like from people who are in the hood, and it's not just the hood, but we're talking from a perspective of what we know, where we came from. Is that you can leave the hood and get a different perspective on life and be around those who are going to lift you up and take you to another level. And then once you get to a certain point in life, you can go back where you came from and make an impact.
That's good, brother.
So the carpenter that O just talked about, he can now go back where he came from, and now he can build houses for people and make a difference in that neighborhood and teach.
Yeah.
That's a whole, like that right there, that is life-changing. That is being successful for a person who is, hey, I left where I was. I climaxed there. There was nothing else left for me to do there. I left, got better educated, got better knowledge, got better wisdom, got better mentors, got better people around me. And then I went back where I came from and I elevated that area. Let's take for one quick example, Magic Johnson. Perfect example that I think of that, grew up in an area and in Michigan where his father was a hard worker. He was a garbage guy, and that's how Magic got his work ethic from his father being a garbage man. Magic Johnson, decades down the line, always has a organization that pours back into urban cities, that creates jobs and creates wealth to a degree, and has youth programs and all that stuff. But that's him saying, hey, I understand, I've been there, I've done that, now I want to give back. But Magic would have possibly never done that if he had never gotten as good as he was at playing basketball. His father taking him under his wing, showing him the ropes of work ethic. Magic taking that work ethic, putting it into his basketball, becoming one of the top 5 greatest players of all time, and then becoming a entrepreneur that poured back into the communities that he came from. Perfect example. So
I'll let you go.
No, you go. No, you got it. You good.
All right. No, I just and just knowing like how you got to get around new people, or you may have to change your circle if if your circle's not doing it, you might have to change your circle. But like, even I just watched a movie called King Richard. It's about Venus and Serena's father.
Yeah.
He knew at a certain point he had no more to give him. Like, so imagine that. He had to put his ego. I mean, he had a big ego, but like, he had to put his ego to the side to get them actual professional coaching.
Yeah.
And if he never did that and said, no, I'm going to do it, I'll get them there. Or he never wanted to leave his little circle, how he was teaching them in South Central Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So he taught them in South Central Los Angeles, end up getting coaching. I don't want to do a spoiler alert, but they end up moving to Florida to get professional coaching. So they had to like leave their actual, they left home and went somewhere else to go around people.
And let's be home was Compton.
Home was Compton. South Central LA. Yep.
Okay. Boys in the hood.
Exactly that. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they left where they were. And listen, most of us who know about Venus and Serena, we have an idea of what their story is. But to see King Richard, it gives you an in-depth look at what they had to deal with and conquer, especially their father. Not, I mean, them, yes, but especially their father. what he had to go through and deal with.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
and he wrote his plan out.
Right. To get his daughters to where they are today.
Right.
You know, so great example and a great story as well.
Great story. Great story.
I'm gonna give you guys one last one, and then we're gonna call it a day for today. So the last one is basically what we talk about, and is the tagline for our company, Frame of Mind Inc. You got to think it, you got to speak it, and ultimately you need to achieve it. And again, having a successful mindset is easier said than done, but it can be done. So ultimately, what we think becomes what we say, and ultimately becomes what we do. If you're constantly telling yourself, I can't, you know, I'm not as good as, you're comparing yourself to someone else, you know, you're talking down to yourself, you know, and you're constantly putting negativity and negative thoughts in your head, eventually you're going to start talking that way. And ultimately you're going to start living that way and achieving that. Same thing with positivity. And so it's the circle of life from a mental mindset standpoint. But you have to get to a point in life where you've had enough is enough, and you're like, I need to change something in my life. Now, changing stuff in your life, it could and may, or should I say even probably, come with a price, whether it's monetary or physical or mental, spiritual, all that. There's a price to be paid one way or the other. The question is, how much are you willing to invest in yourself to achieve and have a successful mindset? I'm gonna give you guys one scripture here, and I'm not gonna quote the scripture it came from. I'm just quoting something out of the blue. Let this mind be in you that was also in Yahushua the Messiah. You want to have a successful mindset. There's always a perfect example to follow. And while there are those on this earth we can follow who have great examples, there's no greater example than the Messiah of having a successful mindset. He took 12 people and flipped the world upside down. And mind you, most of the people that he had with him, those 12 people, most of them were businessmen who had their own businesses, doing their own thing. Some were struggling, some weren't. But they followed the ultimate example of what to do and how to do it. So you want to be successful? Again, out of everything that we've said today, if there's one thing you get out of this, you need to make sure that you're spending time with the right people or the right persons. Again, spending time with Elohim. All right, that's the most important one. And then who's in your circle, and who is it that you're looking to that is already doing what you're doing or has been there and done that can impart into you now of how to get there and what to do. If you don't hear anything else, hear that. Hear that. Oh, what you got before we go?
Yeah, man, I think we hit it, man. I say listen to this twice. There was some good nuggets dropped, man. The biggest thing I can say though is like the one that hits me the most is just getting out of your circles. Some of our circles are holding us back, and it's time to find other circles. And nowadays, like I said, I heard a guy say, I think it was Grant Cardone. He said, now with the internet, you can get in circles, and I can get in a circle in Europe. I can find people now.
Yeah,
I can hear people. I can listen to people. I can join groups. I don't necessarily have to be. They don't necessarily have to be in my hometown.
Mm-hmm.
So like now we got access now. So like go fishing, go find them. They're there. I know they are. You know what I mean? So
yeah. And again, on a general standpoint, don't be a solopreneur.
Right.
Don't be a solopreneur. Find people to work with, collaborate with, network with, work with, and ultimately, man, just soar and just go out there and do it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be afraid of learning experiences. Don't be afraid of challenges and roadblocks. They're going to come, but life's about becoming. And we're going to continue to bring you guys information and knowledge, not just from us, but from others who we interview and talk to. And this year, we're looking to add more interviews to our podcast because we want to bring you guys people who have been there and done that, who have done more than me and O have done, to even help us and with what we're doing. You know, we're not there yet. We haven't made it yet. And like I said, I don't think I'll ever will have made it until the day that I've completed my mission. That's it. You know what I mean? So anyway, I'm gonna stop babbling on. I know we got a lot to go to. If you want to contact the Frame of Mind Inc. podcast, you can do so one of two ways. You can email us at FOFMpodcast@frameofmindinc.com. Again, that's FOFMpodcast@frameofmindinc.com, or give us a call at 302-689-3499. Again, that's 302-689-3499. Thanks again for joining us, guys. It's been another great podcast, another great Wednesday. And as always, continue to think it, speak it, and achieve it. And until next time, I holla. Thank you for joining the Frame of Mind Inc. podcast. And as always, here at Frame of Mind Inc., think positive thoughts, say positive things, and do positive deeds. As our tagline says, think it, speak it, achieve it. See you next time.
It's a frame of mind. It's what you say and what you do.
Don't forget to check us out on the web at www.frameofmindinc.com, where you can browse our online apparel store, listen to some of our original music and production services, as well as view our videos and projects we've done for our clients and customers.